The child, he is controlling everything. Meanwhile, Liam closed his eyes and focused. He pictured Earth, his mother, and every human who had prayed for his safety. The fleet responded instantly. Shields pulsed brighter. Weapons aimed with precision. Smaller ships formed protective walls around the planet. Council ships tried to fire again, but every attack was absorbed or redirected. The fleet's energy field reflected beams harmlessly into space. Even the largest battleships could not penetrate the defenses. Nora Bennett stood on the shore, watching the sky. People gathered around her, cheering and crying. "He's doing it!" she shouted. "Our son! Our humans! They are fighting back! Dr. Hayes, Alex, and Zoe coordinated the fleet from the bridge. Liam is stronger than we imagined, Dr. Taub," Hayes said. "He is the link! He is the heart of the fleet!" Alex clenched his fists. "Then we fight with him. We will show the Council that humans are not weak." The first real Council attack came at noon. Squadrons of fast ships darted toward Earth, firing energy bolts in rapid succession. Human ships moved in perfect synchronization, shields shifting to block attacks, weapons firing in calculated strikes. Council ships were hit, their hulls glowing with the force of the strikes. Salon's voice shook as they watched. "They are too fast, too coordinated. They are stronger than we expected." The Council commander yelled orders, but the fleet moved as if alive, anticipating every maneuver. It became clear that brute force alone could not defeat humans. Liam opened his eyes. He reached out with his mind, focusing on the Council flagship. He imagined it surrounded by energy walls, unable to escape. The fleet responded immediately. Massive shields formed around the flagship, trapping it without damaging it. "Stop firing!" Selene shouted. "This is unacceptable!" But the fleet did not harm the ship unnecessarily. Humans were not cruel. They were determined, brave, and controlled. They protected Earth and demanded the Council respect their strength. From the Council flagship, Salon sent a new message. "Humans, you are strong, but do not overestimate yourselves. We have ruled the galaxy for centuries." Nora Bennett's voice echoed across communication networks. "We are not overestimating. We are protecting our children, our planet, and our future. You took my son. Now you will see the strength of humanity." Alex and Zoe guided the fleet closer to the Council ships. Every movement was precise. Every strike minimized unnecessary destruction. The Council commanders were stunned. Humans fought differently than they expected. They fought with purpose, intelligence, and ethics. Liam concentrated harder. He could feel the fleet responding to every emotion, every thought. He imagined the Council ships retreating, and they did. Slowly, Council vessels pulled back, hesitant and uncertain. Dr. Hayes smiled.
"It's working! They are retreating!"
Humanity is showing its strength. Alex and Zoe exchanged glances. "We have to push," Alex said. "We can end this before it escalates further." The fleet advanced. Ships formed barriers and guided Council vessels away from Earth. Smaller ships intercepted fighters, while larger ships surrounded Council capital ships. The Council realized that humans were not just resisting, they were leading. In orbit, Liam sensed something new. He saw the Council's hesitation, their fear. He focused all his energy on a single thought: the safe return of Earth's people, and the return of himself to his mother. The fleet responded instantly. The Council flagship was surrounded, trapped, but unharmed. Council commanders stared in disbelief. "How? How can this be?" Humans, Selene whispered. "They are incredible." And they were. Nora Bennett hugged a child nearby. "He's doing it," she said softly. After a human child was lost due to the Galactic Council, Earth awakened its ancient fleet. Liam Carter was a normal boy. He loved reading stories about stars and faraway worlds. His room was full of books and small models of spaceships. He dreamed of traveling to space one day. But Liam's life would change forever on a day that seemed like any other. It started in the morning. Liam was playing in the park near his home in Boston. Birds sang, children laughed, and the sun shone brightly. His mother, Nora Bennett, watched him from a bench sipping coffee. She had always worried about Liam being curious. He asked too many questions and sometimes wandered too far. Today, that curiosity would cost him dearly. A strange ship appeared in the sky. It was unlike anything anyone had seen. Smooth, silver, and glowing, it hovered silently above the city. People stopped walking. They pointed, whispered, and took pictures. But no one knew what it was. Liam's eyes were wide. He ran toward it, fascinated. "Liam! Come back!" Nora shouted, her voice shaking, but Liam didn't listen. Before anyone could react, a beam of light surrounded him. He screamed. The light lifted him slowly into the ship. People gasped. The ship vanished from sight as quickly as it had appeared. The park was empty again, except for Nora, frozen with fear. Panic spread through the city. News broadcasts announced the disappearance. Scientists, police, and government officials could not explain it. Then, the news shocked the world. The Galactic Council had taken Liam. The Galactic Council was a group of alien races that ruled over many planets. They claimed to keep peace, but humans had always been cautious. Now one of them had taken a human child. Nora Bennett refused to stay quiet. She went to the city hall, the news stations, and the government offices. She demanded the council return her son. But no one could help her. The council had rules, and he knew that humans had finally awakened something greater than themselves. Salon watched from afar. The envoy felt a mixture of fear and respect. Humans were unpredictable. Brave! Clever! And now, they had power the council could not control. The council would not forget this day. Humanity had shown its strength, awakened its past, and claimed its place in the galaxy. And Earth, protected by the ancient fleet and guided by courage, would never be the same again. The stars shone above, calm and bright, as humans looked up and realized that they were no longer powerless. They were alive, strong, and ready to face the universe together. The ancient fleet hummed in the night sky, a reminder of humanity's courage, determination, and hope. And at its heart was a boy who had reminded the galaxy that humans were not weak. Earth had awakened, and the galaxy would never forget it. They said humans were too small to understand their ways. "We will not return him," said Salon, the council envoy. Their voice was cold and calm, with no emotion. He violated laws that humans do not understand.
He must remain in our custody. Nora felt her heart break.
She fell to her knees. "He's only a child. He did nothing wrong," she cried. Her voice shook the people around her, and her tears were seen on every news broadcast. The world watched in horror. Many humans were angry, but they felt powerless. They had no fleet, no weapons, no ships capable of reaching the stars. The Galactic Council ruled from beyond the solar system. Humans were alone, but not all humans had forgotten. Dr. Felix Hayes, an old scientist who studied human history, had been waiting for this moment. He knew something the world had long forgotten. Earth had a hidden past. Long ago, humans had not been weak. They had a fleet, a great fleet, hidden away in oceans and ice. Dr. Hayes worked quietly in his lab. He gathered records, maps, and old blueprints. His hands shook as he read through them. The fleet was not just a story. It was real. Ancient humans had built ships capable of traveling between stars. They had fought wars that no one alive remembered. And now, perhaps, it was time to wake them again. Meanwhile, Nora did not give up. She spoke on every platform available. "My son is not a criminal. He is a child. If the council takes him, what will stop them from taking all of us?" she said. Her words made people think. The fear of losing their children, their families, their freedom spread like fire. At night, Liam sat in a strange room aboard the council ship. He was scared and alone. The walls glowed softly, and strange symbols moved across them. Celan appeared before him, tall and strange, with eyes that seemed to see everything. "You are far from home, human child," Celan said. "You must learn the ways of the galaxy. You are not ready, but we will teach you." Liam shook his head. "I don't want to learn your ways. I want to go home." Celan's eyes narrowed. "That is not possible. You broke rules you do not understand. You must stay until we decide your fate." Liam curled up on the floor and cried. But even in fear, a small spark of courage remained in him. He promised himself he would find a way back. Back on Earth, Dr. Hayes contacted Alex Monroe, a former naval officer, and Zoe Grant, an engineer. They had both worked on secret human projects. When Hayes told them about the ancient fleet, they were shocked. "You're saying humans once had a fleet capable of fighting in space?" Alex asked. His voice was filled with doubt. "Yes," Dr. Hayes replied. "And it is still there, waiting. We may be the only ones who can bring it back. This technology, it's unlike anything we know. If it works, we could actually challenge the Council." Dr. Hayes nodded. "We have no choice. They took Liam. If we do nothing, humanity will remain powerless. But if we awaken the fleet, we might finally protect ourselves." As they spoke, the world continued to panic. Protests erupted. Governments called for action, but no one had the means to strike back. News of Liam's disappearance dominated every broadcast. Children across Earth hugged their parents tightly, afraid that something similar could happen to them. In secret, Dr. Hayes, Alex, and Zoe began preparing. They contacted a few trusted scientists and engineers. They planned to search for the fleet in the deepest oceans and in frozen areas of the Earth. It would be dangerous, but they had no choice. The Council had shown that humans were not safe under their rule. Meanwhile, Liam began to notice strange things aboard the ship. The walls hummed when he touched them. Lights seemed to respond to his emotions. He did not understand it, but it made him feel connected to the ship. Perhaps he was special in some way, though he did not know how. Celan watched him closely. "The child shows unusual responses," the envoy said to other council members. "He may be linked to something we do not understand." The council began to worry. They had never underestimated humans before, but this child was different. Even far from Earth, humans could surprise them. On Earth, Nora did not sleep. She organized vigils, spoke to reporters, and encouraged people to stand strong. "We are not powerless. Our children are not toys for aliens to take. We must fight for what is right," she said, her voice steady despite her pain. Alex and Zoe prepared their first mission. They would travel to a remote part of the Arctic where Dr. Hayes believed the fleet was hidden. It was a risky plan. No one knew what they would find or if the fleet could even be awakened. "Doctor." Hayes held a small device in his hands. "This will help us locate the ships," he explained. "It was built by humans thousands of years ago, to call the fleet if Earth was ever in danger." Zoe frowned. "And you believe the fleet will respond?" "It will," Dr. Hayes said firmly. "Humans built it to protect themselves. It waits for the day we truly need it." The plan was dangerous. If the Council discovered it, Earth could face destruction. But the thought of Liam trapped in their custody gave them courage. They could not wait. The fleet had to be awakened before it was too late. Far away, Liam sat quietly in his room aboard the Council ship. He did not know that people on Earth were working to save him. He only knew that he had to survive and stay strong. Somehow, he felt a connection to Earth that no alien could break. And on Earth, the first signs of movement were already happening. Machines in frozen depths began to hum. Lights flickered on long-buried ships. The ancient fleet was waking. Humanity was about to change forever. The Arctic was cold and silent. Snow stretched as far as the eye could see, broken only by mountains of ice. Alex Monroe and Zoe Grant trudged through the frozen landscape. Behind them, trucks carried crates filled with tools, machines, and devices designed to awaken something long hidden beneath the ice. Dr. Felix Hayes led the team. His hands shook in the cold, but his eyes shone with excitement. "This is it," he said. "The fleet has been waiting for us thousands of years, hidden and silent, waiting for the right moment." Zoe glanced at him. "And you really believe it will work?"
It has to.
Hayes replied firmly. "Humans built it. It responds to courage and need. If we are determined, it will answer." They reached the coordinates from Dr. Hayes' old maps. Beneath a frozen lake, sensors indicated enormous metal structures. The surface of the ice was unbroken, but the machines below detected massive energy cores. Alex knelt, brushing snow from a patch of ice. "This is it!" "The first ship," he said quietly. Zoe set up a device that looked like a glowing compass.
This will activate it? She asked. Yes, Dr.
Hayes said. "Place it on the surface." "The ship will respond to the human signal." As the device touched the ice, a deep hum rose from below. The ground vibrated slightly. Snow shifted, and a faint blue glow appeared beneath the frozen surface. The team stepped back in surprise. "Did it work?" Zoe whispered. "Yes," Dr. Hayes said, his voice trembling. "The fleet is waking!" Suddenly, the ice cracked. Slowly, a massive ship emerged, rising from the frozen lake. Its surface was smooth and shiny. Strange symbols glowed along its hull. It was larger than any modern ship, long and elegant, with lines that looked alive. Alex could not believe his eyes. "It's real," he said. "We actually found it." The ship's energy began to pulse in rhythm with their movements. It seemed to respond to their presence, their emotions, and even their fear. The team realized that this was no ordinary ship. It had been designed to connect with humans. "More ships?" Dr. Hayes whispered. "There are many of them. Thousands. Hidden across Earth. And they are all alive." Over the next few days, the team worked tirelessly. They located other ships under ice, in deep oceans, and inside remote deserts. Each ship had the same glowing symbols and pulsing energy. The fleet was enormous, far larger than anyone had imagined. Zoe worked to understand the technology. "This is unlike anything we have today," she said. "It uses energy in a way we cannot fully explain." "It can repair itself and even change its shape." Alex nodded. "And it listens to us." "I can feel it!" Dr. Hayes placed his hand on the hull of one ship. "It recognizes humans. It remembers who we are. These ships were built to protect us, and now they know we need them." Meanwhile, the news of Liam's disappearance spread across the world. People protested, demanding action against the Galactic Council. But the Council remained distant, confident that humans could not challenge them. They did not know what was happening on Earth. Back on the Council ship, Liam spent his days in a strange room filled with light. He explored carefully, touching panels and walls that reacted to his touch. Sometimes the lights would change color or shape. He felt a strange warmth in his chest when he did it. "You are observing well," Ceylon said. The alien's voice was calm, but there was curiosity in it. "Few humans can interact with our technology like you do. I just want to go home," Liam said firmly. Ceylon watched him silently. "Perhaps you are special. Perhaps your presence is connected to something far greater than you know." Back in the Arctic, the human team continued to study the fleet. They discovered that the ships were powered by a combination of ancient human energy cores and something else, something that seemed almost alive. "It reacts to us," Zoe said. "It feels our emotions, like it can understand fear and hope." "If that is true, it could fight for us, not just as machines, but as allies." Dr. Hayes nodded. "It is more than that. It was built to protect humanity from threats we cannot imagine. And now, we may finally need it." Word of the fleet's awakening began to leak. Small satellites and explorers noticed strange lights in remote areas. Reports came from scientists, fishermen, and explorers who saw enormous ships rising from ice and water. Governments were stunned. They had long suspected hidden technology, but nothing prepared them for this. In secret, Dr. Hayes coordinated with Alex and Zoe to prepare the fleet for defense. He explained to them that the Galactic Council could act against humanity if they realized what was happening. "They will not wait, Doctor," Hayes warned. "If they discover the fleet before we are ready, they may destroy it. Or worse, they may take it for themselves." Alex clenched his fists. "We can't let that happen." "Not while Liam is still in their custody." Zoe nodded. "We need to move fast. We need to understand these ships and connect with them before the Council can interfere." Over the next weeks, the team worked day and night. They learned that each ship had a central core that could communicate with a human touch. The ships could form networks, sharing energy, knowledge, and strategy. Slowly, they began to understand that the fleet was intelligent in a way they had never imagined. One night, Alex walked along the hull of a massive ship. He placed his hand on the metal, feeling the vibrations beneath. Suddenly, he saw visions of the past, battles in space, humans fighting against strange alien enemies, and ships moving with speed and precision. "It remembers," he whispered. "It remembers the wars we fought long ago." Dr. Hayes came up behind him. "The fleet carries the memory of humanity. It knows who we are and what we can do. That is why it responds to courage. And now, it knows we need it." Meanwhile, Liam aboard the Council ship began to notice something strange. He could feel a connection to something far away. Lights would flicker in the ship whenever he thought of Earth. Symbols would glow when he concentrated. Even Salon noticed the changes. "This child, he is linked to something on Earth," Salon said to the Council. "Something ancient, something powerful." The Council began to worry. They had taken Liam, thinking he was powerless. Now they were not so sure. On Earth, the fleet continued to awaken. Ships emerged from oceans, lakes, and frozen mountains. Their numbers were staggering, and their technology far exceeded modern Earth weapons. Zoe studied the energy cores closely. "It's amazing. They can repair themselves, they can change shape, and they respond to human emotion. They are not just machines. They are alive, in a way." Alex stared at the largest ship. "And they will fight for us. We just need to guide them."
Doctor,
Hayes smiled. "The first step is done. We have awakened the fleet. The next step is to prepare it for what is coming." As the team worked, people around the world began to notice changes. Satellites detected unusual energy readings. Scientists reported strange signals in remote regions. Governments began to ask questions, but the truth was far beyond anything they could imagine. Nora Bennett continued to speak publicly. "We cannot be powerless. We must stand together. We must protect our children and our world." Her words inspired hope. Even as humans faced a galaxy controlled by the Council, they began to see that they were not weak. The awakening of the fleet was a symbol of human courage and potential. Meanwhile, Liam closed his eyes aboard the Council ship. He imagined Earth, his mother, and the people fighting to save him. For the first time, he felt hope. He did not know it yet, but the ancient fleet was beginning to respond to him as if it had been waiting for this moment for centuries. The Council watched nervously as signals from Earth's hidden fleet began to grow stronger. They realized that humans were no longer powerless. Something ancient had awakened, and it was tied to a single human child. On Earth, Dr. Hayes, Alex, and Zoe stood together watching the largest ship rise from the frozen ice. The fleet was awake. Its hum filled the air like a heartbeat. They knew that humanity was no longer alone. And far above, in the cold darkness of space, Liam began to connect with the fleet in ways he could not explain. The awakening was not just machines rising from ice and water, it was humanity itself rising, ready to face the galaxy with courage, hope, and strength. The world had changed forever. The first ships of the Galactic Council appeared above Earth before dawn. They were enormous, dark, and silent, moving like predators through the stars. Humans had never seen anything like them. Satellites picked up the vessels instantly, sending signals to military command centers worldwide. Alex Monroe stood on a cliff, overlooking the ocean where part of the ancient fleet rested. The cold wind blew sharply, but he did not feel it. His eyes were on the horizon, watching the council ships move closer. "They're coming!" he said, his voice low but steady. Zoe Grant adjusted her instruments. "They don't know what they're facing yet, but when they do—" She did not finish the sentence. "Both of them knew that the fleet could change everything. Doctor!"
Hayes approached. "The fleet is ready," he said.
"But humans will need to be brave. These ships respond to courage and determination, not just commands. Whoever commands the fleet must show strength and resolve." Alex nodded. "Then let's make sure we show them everything we have." In the skies above, Council scouts detected the energy of the ancient fleet. They sent a message down demanding that humans surrender immediately. Salon's voice echoed across communication networks worldwide.
Humans, the envoy said.
"You must stand down! You cannot challenge the authority of the Galactic Council. The child you care for is under our protection. Do not resist, or you will be destroyed." Nora Bennett's voice rang back, broadcasted live to the Council fleet. "You have no right to take our children. We will not surrender. This child is one of us. Return him, or face the consequences." Salon paused. The words were bold, and the conviction behind them was real. Still, the Council remained confident. Humans had no weapons capable of matching their fleets. They had underestimated humanity for centuries. Below the surface, Liam Carter felt something strange. The lights in the Council ship flickered. Symbols danced on the walls and panels shifted as if alive. He placed his hands on the surface and felt a pulse deep in his chest. It was Earth. It was calling to him. The ancient fleet was responding to Liam. He did not know how, but the ships reacted to his thoughts and emotions. Fear! Hope! Determination! All of it resonated with the fleet. A connection was forming. Back on Earth, Alex and Zoe stood on the bridge of the first awakened ship. It was massive, filled with strange technology, but somehow familiar. Lights pulsed with life, and energy flowed like water through circuits. "Can we control it?" Alex asked. Zoe shrugged. "We will try. But I think the fleet listens more than it obeys. We have to guide it, not command it." "Doctor." Hayes nodded. "The fleet will fight for humans, but it trusts humans who show courage. It will protect Earth if we are brave enough to lead it." The Council fleet moved closer, forming a blockade around the planet. Council commanders expected an easy victory. They believed humans would surrender just as they had before. But humans did not surrender. The fleet began to rise. Ships surfaced from oceans, ice, and deserts. The largest ships hidden in deep trenches came up with a hum that shook the ground. Lights glowed across their hulls, pulsing in time with human courage and determination. Alex touched the console. "It's responding to us, yes," Zoe said. "It's alive. And it knows why we need it."
On the Council ship, Salon watched carefully. "The fleet, it is awakening faster than expected," the envoy said.
"It is responding to the child. He is the key." Liam, still in Council custody, closed his eyes. He pictured Earth, his mother, and the people fighting to save him. He did not know what he was doing, but the fleet reacted. Lights on the surface of the ships flashed. Energy built in the engines. Ships lifted higher into the air. The Council could no longer ignore what was happening. Their fleet was large, but the human fleet was unpredictable and alive. It moved with intelligence and purpose, not just following orders. Alex and Zoe coordinated the first movement. Using the ancient control panels, they guided the fleet slowly into orbit. The ships moved as if alive, shaping formations automatically. Smaller vessels joined larger ones, forming shields and defensive barriers. "Look at that," Alex said. "It's incredible." "They know what to do without being told," Zoe smiled. "Humans built this. And now it is ours again." "Doctor," Hayes nodded. "And soon Liam will join them! Above the planet, Council ships approached. Their weapons glowed and their hulls shone like metal suns. They fired warning shots, small energy bursts meant to scare, not destroy. But the fleet responded instantly. Shields rose around every ship. Energy fields pulsed outward, absorbing attacks. The Council commanders were shocked. Humans had no modern weapons capable of this. Even the largest Council battleships were held at bay. On Earth, Nora watched the sky. People gathered in cities, on rooftops, and in parks, staring up at the strange lights and pulsing energy. Fear mixed with awe. Humans had not seen this before, and yet a spark of hope burned in their hearts.
They are defending us, she whispered. They are protecting us. Liam, aboard the Council ship, felt the fleet in his mind.
He concentrated, imagining ships forming walls, protecting Earth and surrounding the Council vessels. Slowly, he realized he could influence the fleet. The lights responded to his thoughts. Energy flowed faster, shields strengthened, and ships moved with precision. Solon noticed it immediately. The child... He controls them, the envoy said. This is impossible. Humans cannot do this. But it was happening. Liam was no longer a powerless boy. He was connected to something older and greater than anything the Council had ever seen. The first real clash began in orbit. Council fighters approached a fleet of smaller human ships. They fired lasers and energy beams, but the ships adapted instantly. Shields rotated, weapons deployed, and strange energy fields redirected attacks. Human ships moved with speed and intelligence beyond modern technology. Alex directed from the bridge. Keep formation. Protect Earth. Avoid unnecessary destruction. Yes, sir, Zoe replied, her hands flying over the controls. The fleet is listening. It knows our strategy. The Council realized that humans had learned from their past mistakes. They had a fleet that could fight, adapt, and think. Even more terrifying, it seemed to anticipate moves before they happened. Solon ordered the Council to retreat temporarily. We underestimated them, the envoy said. They are dangerous. Pull back and reassess! But humans were not finished. They formed a line in orbit showing strength and determination. The fleet responded, pulsing with energy that lit the night sky. Earth's defenses were no longer weak. Humans had awakened a power that demanded respect. On the Council ship, Liam smiled faintly. He could see the human ships in his mind, feel their energy, and guide them without touching controls. He realized that he was part of the fleet, and the fleet was part of him. Doctor! Hayes, Alex, and Zoe watched from Earth as the battle unfolded.
He is controlling them, Doctor.
Hayes said quietly. Liam is the key. He is why the fleet awoke. Alex clenched his fists. Then we fight for him. We fight for humanity. Zoe nodded. And we win because we have courage. That is what these ships need. Not just technology, but bravery. The Council fleet tried to adapt, but human ships were unpredictable. They formed new strategies automatically, reacting to Liam's thoughts and the humans' determination. Energy shields flared, weapons fired with precision, and the largest ships moved with fluid grace, blocking attacks before they could hit. In cities across Earth, people watched the sky. They realized that humanity was no longer weak. Something ancient had awakened, and it was fighting to protect them. Fear turned to hope. Doubt turned to courage. Nora stood in the street, holding her son's favorite toy. Liam, she whispered, you are bringing them back to us. And above, in orbit, Liam guided the fleet with growing confidence. He saw the Council ships retreat, their confidence shaken by the power and unity of humanity. The first real victory had been won. Humans had resisted, and they had shown the galaxy that Earth was not powerless. The fleet had risen, alive and strong, guided by courage and hope. Dr. Hayes turned to Alex and Zoe. This is only the beginning, he said. The Council will not give up easily, but humanity has found its strength, And Liam is the heart of it all, Alex nodded. Then we prepare. We train. We get ready. The galaxy will learn that Earth is not weak, and we will protect what is ours. Zoe looked at the fleet one last time before the sun rose over the horizon. It's beautiful, she said quietly. And it's alive, just like us. The battle had ended for now, but the war was far from over. The Galactic Council had learned a dangerous truth. Humans were not weak. They were brave, clever, and capable of awakening power that no alien could control. And Liam, the boy who had been taken, was no longer powerless. He was the link between Earth and its ancient fleet, and soon the galaxy would know the strength of humanity. The stars above shone brighter as the human fleet stood ready, pulsing with energy, alive and aware. Resistance had begun, and Earth would never be the same again. The sun rose over Earth, painting the sky in soft orange and pink. But above the planet, in the cold black of space, tension burned hotter than any star. The Galactic Council had regrouped. Their fleets, larger and more powerful, hovered in orbit, ready to strike. They believed they could crush humanity with sheer force, but they were wrong. The human fleet, ancient and alive, floated in silent strength above the planet. Thousands of ships of all shapes and sizes formed patterns in the sky. Shields glowed with soft light, engines pulsed with energy, and weapons hummed quietly, waiting. And at the center, controlling the fleet in a way no one fully understood, was Liam Carter. Liam stood on the bridge of the largest ship. Panels lit up at his touch, responding to his thoughts and emotions. He felt the fleet as if it were part of his own body. Every ship, every weapon, every shield moved as he willed it. Fear and doubt had no place here. Only courage guided him. "Are you ready?" Alex Monroe asked, standing beside him. His voice was calm but firm. Liam nodded. "I will protect Earth. I will bring him home." His eyes, steady and bright, reflected determination beyond his years. Zoe Grant adjusted controls on her console. "The fleet is fully operational. It listens to you completely. But remember, it's alive. It will respond to your emotions. You need to stay strong." Liam swallowed hard. He could feel the Council fleet approaching, dark shapes in the distance. But fear did not control him. Hope and courage guided every thought. On the Council flagship, Salon watched monitors nervously. "The child, he is controlling them. He is connected to the fleet." The other Council leaders looked uneasy. They had underestimated humans, and now they faced a power they could not fully measure. Even their largest ships were dwarfed by the size and energy of Earth's awakened fleet. "Prepare for attack," one commander said, trying to maintain confidence. "We must strike now before humans gain full control." But strike was not so easy. The human fleet moved with precision. Ships raised shields to block incoming attacks. Weapons fired only when needed, targeting Council vessels with careful accuracy. The fleet adapted instantly to every maneuver, flowing like water, responding to Liam's will.
Alex watched in awe. They're anticipating the Council's moves.
"It's like they can think ahead." Zoe nodded. "They are alive. They remember humans, and they know what needs to be done." Salon's eyes widened as Council ships were blocked and redirected without a single human hand touching the weapons. "Impossible!" the envoy whispered. "He's bringing them home safely." Alex and Zoe guided the fleet into a final formation. Energy flowed through the ships, pulsing like a heartbeat. The fleet was alive, aware, and ready to protect humanity. Salon finally spoke to Liam through the communication system. "Child, you have shown power beyond comprehension. Why do you not destroy us?" Liam's voice was calm and firm. "We do not need to destroy you. We only need to protect what is ours. Leave Earth, and you will be safe. Harm us, and you will face the consequences."
The council hesitated.
They realized humans had awakened something older, something stronger than they had expected. They had faced many species in the galaxy, but never one that could awaken an entire fleet from their own past. Finally, after long moments of silence, the Council withdrew. Their fleet retreated beyond orbit, leaving Earth untouched. Humanity had won the first great battle without killing unnecessarily. They had proven their strength, intelligence, and courage. On Earth, celebrations erupted. People cheered, cried, and embraced each other. Liam was returned safely to his mother, who held him tightly, tears running down her face. "I was so afraid," she whispered. "I never thought I would see you again." Liam hugged her tightly. "I knew the fleet would protect us," he said softly. And it did. Dr. Hayes, Alex, and Zoe watched from the bridge of the largest ship. "We did it," Dr. Hayes said quietly. "We have awakened humanity's past and its future." Alex nodded. "The galaxy will remember this. Humans are no longer weak. We have courage, intelligence, and power. We can protect ourselves." Zoe smiled. "And we did it without cruelty. We fought for what is right. That is the real strength of humanity." Liam looked at the fleet around him. It hummed and pulsed, alive and aware. He could feel every ship, every engine, every weapon.